Friday to the Ungovernables, the Captain's Crew, the LFA family, McGroin Nation, coming to you live from the deep red state of Tennessee on rumble.com/LFA TV. Welcome to Ungoverned. Friday the 19th. We're over halfway through September. I cannot believe that. We're doing it. We're getting there. Happy Friday. We're going to dunk on Jimmy Kimmel all day. Most of all day. He deserved it, is where we're going with it. He deserved it. A lot of people are like, oh, but that you're celebrating cancel culture. No, I'm not. No. Nobody's celebrating cancel culture here. What is it called, folks? What kind of culture is it? Is it cancel culture or?
Consequence culture.
That's what it is. It is consequence culture. Because your actions have consequences. Jimmy Kimmel did not have to report inaccurately about Charlie Kirk's assassin. Jimmy Kimmel did not have to refuse to apologize for what he did. And because Jimmy Kimmel acted in that way, he was suspended. He was losing money for ABC. His ratings were falling, right? The performance just wasn't there. I equate a lot of things to sports, okay? Eventually, if a dude's not hitting in the lineup, if you're playing baseball, you take him out of the lineup. Why? Because he's not helping the team win. Jimmy Kimmel, same deal. You're going to tell me that guy was helping ABC and Disney win? No. He was getting abysmal ratings. He was losing the company money, and now he became a bad PR story. The FCC, by the way, and Brendan Carr did not threaten to fire Jimmy Kimmel. That never happened. Did they say we could do it the easy way or the hard way? Yeah, sure. He said that. Fine. Does that mean he said that they must fire Jimmy Kimmel? No. That's not what he said at all. The First Amendment, and you talk about the First Amendment, everyone's, oh, free speech, First Amendment, what is that? It's his right to free speech. Nobody's taking away Jimmy Kimmel's right to free speech. Your right to free speech, and by the way, Brian Stelter happens to agree with this, or at least he did way back when. Your right to free speech does not come with a right to speak freely without consequences. Your right to free speech does not guarantee you a right to be heard. You have the right to speak without fear of retribution from the government. Criminal retribution. Your right to free speech does not guarantee you your right to a platform. Those of us on the right have learned that the hard way. Whether it was Facebook, whether it was Twitter back in the day, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, okay? Whether it was any of those platforms, we all understood, as much as it sucked, you know, when my Facebook page got taken down, I talked to an attorney. I said, is there anything we could do about this? They said, nope. As unfair as it is, they can do whatever they want. You know, when you sign up for that account and you agree to terms and conditions, you are essentially agreeing that you're playing in their sandbox by their rules. Now, if the government starts fining people, individuals, for things that they're saying because the government doesn't like it, now we have a totally different situation on our hands. If the government starts unfairly targeting people for their speech, now we have a constitutional debate on their hands. But the government's not doing that. And what Jimmy Kimmel did with Charlie Kirk's assassin and the way he conducted himself after the assassination of Charlie Kirk led to the company, the network, ABC's two largest affiliates, Nexstar and Sinclair Broadcasting, to be repulsed by Jimmy Kimmel's behavior to the extent that they were going to preempt his show for a tribute to Charlie Kirk on Friday and then, of course, over the weekends as well, where Kimmel doesn't run, I don't believe. When ABC sees that their two largest affiliates, Sinclair Broadcasting and Nexstar, are not going to distribute the Jimmy Kimmel program, which was already losing money. It was already not performing. When the two largest affiliates that are hitting a large number of markets say, well, now we're not even going to distribute it into these markets where not a lot of people are watching it anyway, that's an even bigger loss. ABC took that as the off-ramp to say, all right, now we can finally cut ties with Jimmy Kimmel. Not even necessarily because of what he said, but because his performance was so bad, this was the final straw. He deserved it. Nobody forced Jimmy Kimmel to act this way. Nobody. I don't remember seeing a gun to his head saying, Jimmy, you must try and spin this and say that the assassin was a part of MAGA. You must come out here and both sides it. And now we have the left who is saying now, right? Think about it. The radical left right now is saying and acting like Jimmy Kimmel losing his job is worse than Charlie Kirk losing his life. That's what they're saying. That is the type of language and the type of reaction that we're seeing to this whole Jimmy Kimmel thing. I'll tell you what, he deserved it. And if he was truly as talented as everybody else says he is, another network will pick him up. I don't think another network's going to pick him up. You know why? Because he's not good at what he does anymore. He may have been good. He may have filled a void at some point. Those days are over. The late night TV kind of format is supposed to be this idea of dessert after dinner, right? You get through everything. You have a nice little way to lighten the load. End of the day, take your mind off of the more serious issues, et cetera, right? And that's the goal of late night TV. That was the function of late night TV. That was supposed to be kind of the void that it filled. The kind of, again, it's the dessert after dinner type of role. That's not what it was anymore. That's not what it's become. It has become nonstop, one-sided political conversation that is not funny to people outside of a specific audience that hold a specific worldview. It's just not funny. Why is Greg Gutfeld so successful? Well, one, he has a late night show on a political channel, Fox News. But two, the conversations that they have on there are fun, lighthearted in many cases conversations, candid conversations. And while, yes, everybody on that stage generally adheres to the same or similar views, they're just not as venomous and vitriolic as Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert and Jimmy Fallon and the rest of these clowns that, think they do good late night television, but they don't. Kimmel, Colbert, these folks, and again, it's not just that they're venomous, vitriolic, vicious people. They weren't making money. They weren't delivering the results. This was just the final straw that broke the camel's back for ABC, and he deserved it. Your actions carry consequences. Consequence culture, the consequence culture era starts now. That's it. We are now in a new era. People call it FAFO culture, fine. Consequence culture. The consequence era begins today. All right. We're going to get to more of that before we do a word from our friends over at OFP Farms. We'll do calls second half, 631-527-4545. OFP Farms is thrilled to announce that it's birthday month. Happy birthday to OFP Farms. As they celebrate 11 wonderful years to date, they have successfully shipped over 16,000 packages, sharing their skin and pain relief magic across this beautiful country. As America's trusted source for soap, lotion, lip balm, pain relief, and all of these other soaps, lotions, lip balms, We had the magnesium spray for a while. I love the Go
We still
Kisses
have
lip
some of
balm.
that.
We got some of that. The Peace Lotion now. Good stuff. They've received countless enthusiastic reviews that attest to the excellence of their products. And to celebrate for a limited time, they are offering 25% off of your entire purchase throughout September as a heartfelt thank you for your support over the years. Discover the remarkable products from OFP Farms, a pioneer in natural ingredients celebrated for the skin-nurturing benefits of tallow and fresh goat milk. Whether you're in the search of gentle skincare options or thoughtful gifts, these products seamlessly blend expert craftsmanship with strong values to elevate your daily routine. Take this opportunity to pick up premium products that support health and resonate with the ethical choices for your entire family. OFP Farms takes pride in being a God-first, family-owned, patriotic company and is grateful to the thousands of incredible customers who have embraced their small farm values and supported their farm-to-family skincare mission. September is birthday month for OFP Farms. 25% off instead of 15%. Check it out. Support them. Happy birthday, OFP Farms. Give them the birthday present that they deserve. Give them your support. That is OFPfarms.com. Promo code Sean, SHAWN, for 25% off of your entire purchase. OFPfarms.com. Promo code SHAWN. Next up, a word from our friends over at Silent. It's silent.com/SHAWN as well. Folks, take back your privacy with Silent today. Let's face it, your phone is a tracking device. We all know that. Government agencies, big tech corporations, data brokers, all folks like that, cyber criminals, they're all fighting for a piece of your digital footprint, and they don't ask, they just take it. That's why Silent exists. Silent makes Faraday gear that blocks all wireless signals, including cellular, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, RFID, and near-field communications. No signal means no tracking, no remote access, and no breadcrumbs. It's the same technology trusted by special operations teams worldwide, used to block signals, avoid surveillance, and secure communications wherever the mission leads. And right now it is available to you to protect your family, your freedom, and your digital footprint. Just drop your phone in a Silent Faraday sleeve, and it is off the grid, completely silent and invisible to the outside world. From their backpacks, to their sleeves, to their crossbodies, Silent's patented technology gives you control over your privacy. Just visit slnt.com/Sean, SHAWN, to save 15% and get free shipping on qualifying orders. That is Silent, slnt.com/Sean. Protect your rights, secure your data, and stay one step ahead. Go to silent.com and silence the chaos. Go silent today, slnt.com/SHAWN. All right. Jimmy Kimmel. This is some good stuff. The left now wants to tell you that they care about cancel culture. Right? Oh, so much for free speech. The left wants to tell you how much they care about cancel culture now. After being the main drivers of cancel culture, why don't we ask Roseanne Barr, right? Tucker Carlson, who I don't really care for anymore, but let's face it, that was part of it. Why don't we ask, who else got canceled in the left? Paula Deen, right? Mm-hmm. She was canceled. Gina Carano. But even these, these are these big names. Jeremy Harrell knows a lot about cancel culture. Okay? A lot of folks, James O'Keefe knows a lot about cancel culture. Laura Loomer knows a lot about cancel culture. Pete Santilli on LFA TV knows a lot about cancel culture. Robert Malone, the doctor, Peter McCullough, knows a lot about cancel culture. Dan Bongino knows a lot about cancel culture. That's why Rumble is what it is, really. He was thrown off of YouTube, financially backed Parler. That was ripped off the internet by Amazon Web Services. Now Bongino's a major equity holder in Rumble, right? And helped build this platform along many of us, right? These are all people that are not on the left. J.K. Rowling has been, they attempted to cancel her. And she's not even a conservative. She's just a traditional feminist. Well, this is Barack Obama saying, Trump administration, he's accusing the Trump administration of new and dangerous levels of cancel culture over Jimmy Kimmel's cancellation. Quote, after years of complaining about cancel culture, Obama said, the current administration has taken it to a new and dangerous level by routinely threatening regulatory action against media companies unless they muzzle or fire reporters and commentators that it does not like. But that's not what happened. That's not what happened. Yes, Donald Trump has been vocal about Jimmy Kimmel. Yes, Donald Trump has advocated for the firing of Jimmy Kimmel, just like people on the left advocated for the jailing of Donald Trump, just like people on the left advocated for the impeachment from office of Donald Trump. Just like, I mean, are we that, affected by amnesia that we don't remember when the left prematurely celebrated that Donald Trump died? You want to lecture me about cancel culture? You thought the president of the United States was dead and you were happy about it? But you want to lecture me about cancel culture? Absolutely not.
Well, Glenn Beck, while he was filling in for the Charlie Kirk show,
yeah,
there was a bomb threat. They had to stop 30 minutes early.
There you go. So, I mean,
that's silencing by death is what they do. Cancel
culture, the swattings, right? Death threats. There was a movement, remember the cat lady, Nandini Jammy with Bongino? She had a little organization, whatever that was called, where she was calling into podcasters, advertisers, and threatening them to leave those podcasters' programs so that they would, their revenue would dry up and they would be silenced. They wouldn't be able to continue to operate. That's cancel culture. But by the way, here is Brian Stelter, one of the most feminine men I think I have ever seen in my life. Brian Stelter, who sounds like he still has not gone through puberty, right? Essentially celebrating cancel culture and, freedom of speech, etc., but celebrating this back in the day. Watch this.
And the polluters are trying to deflect blame. Dishonest cries of censorship are filling Fox's airwaves with charges that these guys right here are being suppressed. The word censorship's been invoked almost 400 times on Fox this month alone, and more than 300 times on Newsmax. Post-insurrection, a book publisher decided that it did not want to be in business with Senator Josh Hawley. So he's been on a national TV tour claiming he's muzzled. And Tucker Carlson is telling viewers that this network, CNN, is trying to force Fox News off the air, which is patently false. It's as predictable as the sunrise. Democrats win elections, and then Republicans say they are being silenced. But while some cry cancel culture, let me suggest a different way to think about this. A harm reduction model. Most people want clean air and blue skies, and accurate news and rational views. And then in that healthy environment that looks beautiful, then we can have great fights about taxes and regulation and healthcare and all the rest. The vast majority of people can agree that disinformation about, let's say, the pandemic is unhealthy. It's harmful. So how can that harm be reduced? Well, big tech platforms say they are removing lies about vaccines and stamping out Stop the Steal BS and QAnon cult content. Now, do these private companies have too much power? Sure. And many people would say yes, of course they do. But reducing a liar's reach is not the same as censoring freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is different than freedom of reach. And algorithmic reach is part of the problem. Now, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg seems to agree. Here's the headline from Politico. He's pledging to depoliticize Facebook. Zuckerberg says one of the top pieces of feedback that we're hearing from our community is that people don't want politics and fighting to take over their experience on our services. Well, he's several years too late, but that is a real issue. And he wants to now try to clean up Facebook. But this is bigger than Facebook. This harm happens all over the place. In the words of a recently fired Fox News editor, news consumers are both overfed and malnourished.
Okay, harm reduction model is what he said. Okay. You see, when you're on the left and you determine that somebody else's words and opinions cause quote unquote harm, you have to reduce that harm, right? Kind of sounds like the whole words are violence thing. Gee, who would have believed that words were violence and that violence was the only way to deal with somebody's words they don't like? Oh, that's right. The guy who just assassinated Charlie Kirk. There's one part of what Brian Stelter said that I agree with. Freedom of speech does not guarantee you freedom of reach. Freedom of speech and the First Amendment right to free speech that is constitutionally protected protects you from being targeted by the government, retaliated against by the government because they don't like what you say. That is not what happened at ABC. ABC was dealing with, let's go back to sports. They were dealing with a starting pitcher with a 9 ERA. That means he was giving up 1 run every inning. They did not pull him from the lineup because they didn't like the hat he wore. They pulled him from the lineup because he sucked. It's the same argument that I make about Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick was not blackballed by the NFL because of his race. Colin Kaepernick was not given another job in the NFL because he was a bad football player at that part of his career. His team went 2-14. Look at Michael Vick. Michael Vick came back to the NFL after going to jail for killing dogs. Dante Stallworth got a job back in the NFL after he killed somebody behind the wheel of a car. It has nothing to do with race. By the way, both of those men are black. If you have the talent, you will retain your job. Consequence culture, merit-based society. The consequence era starts today. This is the way it works. Jimmy Kimmel sucked at his job. He was losing money. His ratings were horrible and were continuing to fall. And he just became a PR disaster because he refused to behave like a decent person in the wake of a heinous, graphic assassination of a 31-year-old husband, father, brother, son, man of faith, and American patriot. That is why Jimmy Kimmel got fired. Because on top of his declining performance metrics, he became a PR disaster. He was not worth keeping anymore. He became a black eye for the network, not just for ABC as a whole, not just for the general public, but ABC's 2 largest affiliates felt the same way. They pulled his show off the air. He wasn't worth the trouble. If he was good at his job and was producing revenue, you bet your bottom dollar Disney, ABC takes the FCC to court over this entire thing and fights to keep Jimmy Kimmel. Ask yourself, why are they not fighting for him? Because they'd be sinking more money into saving the job of a person that is already a net negative on their finances. Your actions have consequences. And when you act like a reprehensible person, when you act like an awful human being, do not be surprised when you are met with less than desirable consequences. I'm not saying violence. I'm not saying people should go find Jimmy Kimmel and assault him. I'm saying the consequences for his less than professional, less than decent actions is that he was fired. He was not silenced. He was fired. He has not lost his right to speak. He was fired. If Jimmy Kimmel would like to speak tomorrow, he can take his phone, flip the camera around to that ugly mug of his, and live stream on any social media platform that he wants to live stream on. He still has a quote-unquote platform. It's just not with ABC anymore. This is the way the real world works. Again, if I was working for Sherwin-Williams and I was a bad reflection of the company and I also wasn't selling paint, that was my job. sell paint. A lot of the times, some of the controversial things that I posted on social media, I knew that if I ever had to hear from somebody about it, I would say, but hey, but I'm selling a lot of paint though. Like this store is doing hundreds of thousands of dollars more in volume than it was before myself and some of our coworkers got there. Like we had a 100% increase at our location in gross sales because we tried and did our job the right way. If I was such a detriment to the company, why is our sales up? Why wouldn't people say, don't go to that store, that's where the racist white supremacist is, right? Because I'm not a racist white. So I always knew that I had my results in my back pocket. And I was surprisingly never talked to about it. Interesting, right? Except one time about masks, and it wasn't really being talked to. It was great. It was like a wink and a nod thing with the
winky nod.
He was kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Just say yes so I could say I had this conversation. I was like, oh, yeah, I'll wear a mask. Yeah, sure, wink. Sure, handshake. It was... No, you think about contractors when they walked into the store wanted to wear masks? You think they wanted me being a Karen? Johnny, you got to put a mask on. Johnny didn't care. Johnny spent all day in a freaking furniture shop putting lacquer on tables and chairs all day. He didn't wear a mask in there. You think he's afraid of a virus? He's been breathing in all sorts of varnishes for his entire life. Johnny Furniture was a maniac. That guy was a maniac. No, these guys loved it. That's the point, right? If your performance is on par, if you're exceeding expectations, if you're even meeting expectations and doing your job well, the chances of you being held accountable for something that happens outside of your job are lower than if you're not doing your job well. Jimmy Kimmel was not doing his job well, and then extracurricular problems started to present themselves, like this PR nightmare with Charlie Kirk's assassination, which again could have been avoided. All Jimmy Kimmel had to do is be a decent person. Decent. You don't have to praise the work of Charlie Kirk. You could just say, you know what? Now's not the time for that. A young man just lost his life. Whether or not I agree with him is irrelevant. We all should have the right to speak freely and not fear our lives being taken by crazy people. Let's put this stuff aside for a minute and just work towards making our country better. That's all he had to say. He didn't say that. Well, both sides are responsible. Well, the MAGA is desperately trying to convince everybody the shooter wasn't one of their own. Excuse me? The shooter wasn't. The shooter played a game called, I think it was like 50 Shades of Furry Porn or something. 50 Shades of Gay. And that's what it was called. And it was like furry porn on the internet, and he played it like a lot. I don't know any MAGA adjacent people who were like, yo, you know what I'm doing tonight? I'm playing 50 Shades of Gay. No, that's not just... Sorry. I don't even think the gay people in MAGA would do that. Yeah, Scott Bessent, Rick Grinnell, Scott Pressler. I don't think these people would do, oh yeah, I'm playing 50 Shades of Gay tonight. No, I just don't think so. Kimmel deserved every second of it. Every second of it. But I'm going to give you the silver lining in a second. There is a silver lining. And I think the dam is starting to burst in the culture, which is obviously they say politics is downstream from culture. I think the dam is starting to burst, and I'm very excited about that. And I'm going to play a Scott Jennings clip for you in just a second. Before we do that, I want to talk to you about National Preparedness Month. It is National Preparedness Month. Are you prepared for everything life is about to throw at you? Hurricane season is underway. It's been quiet, but we're not out of the woods yet. Close, but we're not out of the woods yet. September is National Preparedness Month. It's the perfect time to ask yourself some questions like, how much food do you have on hand for emergencies? How would you get clean water if the tap went dry tomorrow? What would you do if a storm knocked out the power for an entire week? If you're anything like me, there's some room for improvement on all of this stuff. Luckily, our friends at My Patriot Supply are making disaster preparedness easier and more affordable than ever by giving you over $1,500 worth of emergency food and preparedness gear absolutely free. They just launched their Preparedness Month Mega Kit, and it includes a full year of emergency food, a water filtration system that can purify almost any water source, a solar backup generator, and a whole lot more. Here's the best part. If you go to mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned, you can get 90 preparedness essentials totaling over $1,500. Absolutely free. Go to mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned for full details. That is mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned. If a major disaster struck tomorrow, would you be ready? Check it out. A full year of emergency food, water filtration, solar power, and more. 90 items totaling over $1,500 are yours free this month only. mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned. Check it out for full details. Here's the great Scott Jennings on this Jimmy Kimmel situation. Take a look at this.
I'm not going to sit up and be in my tears. I'm a whole veteran, baby. So at the end of the day, yeah, come on in the foxhole and get comfortable. I am about what it is. And so just own it. Just own it, Scott. It's okay.
I don't understand about 75% of what just happened.
However,
one thing Brendan Carr told me today, and it is true, that the current regulatory regime as it exists is set up by the United States Congress. 1934 Communications Act, and he said, we're going to enforce that regime as it stands. And he said, if they want to change it, if they want to make different rules, if they want to change the way these systems operate or the regulatory thing works, we'll abide by that. But right now, in his view, Congress has set up a system. They're enforcing that system, and until Congress changes it, that'll be what they do.
I have to say.
Well, I actually talked to Brendan Carr today, too, for about 20 minutes. He brought up a similar concept, but it was in the framework of these local affiliates who have to live by these public interest rules finally getting a chance to push back against the networks, the programmers. It was his view that for too long, the programmers, the networks, had too much power over these affiliates and had basically been able to boss them around. We have to live by these rules. We have to live under the public interest rules. We don't, particularly like to air this. We're the ones hearing about it from our viewers and from our advertisers, and we're finally pushing back on it. Well, I think what he was saying that they're upset about is that all of their viewers are complaining and all of their advertisers are complaining.
All their viewers aren't complaining.
The few that Jimmy Kimmel has. And they're getting all these complaints. They're not making any money on it. They're facing enormous financial pressures.
They're not making any money on what?
Selling advertising. Nobody wants to buy advertising on this show.
Late night shows.
Nobody? You say all and nobody.
I'm in this business. I'm going to tell you right now. That's where they give away the freebies at night. Trust me. He has a clear point of view here, which is that these groups that own these affiliates, and I think the two companies are Nexstar and Sinclair, they own over 60 affiliates, that they, independent of anything he was doing, had made a decision that it was no longer in their best interest to have Jimmy Kimmel on the air.
They suspended Jimmy Kimmel?
Well, they told the network that they would not air it. So when you
how does that lead to Kimmel's suspension?
When you take 60 television stations,
what a just a dumbass. How does that lead to the suspension? When you have 60 stations or 60 markets combined by these affiliates that say we're not airing the program, that means you're not making any money off of that program. You cannot bill advertisers for running spots on a program that doesn't run. You moron. Oh, I don't know how Scott Jennings said. I would have smacked that stupid hairdo off of his head and said, what do you mean, how does that lead to a suspension? The affiliates essentially boycotted the show, which made the show even less lucrative and financially, reliable and financially sound. What kind of question? How did that lead to the suspension? ABC, the network, said, oh, wow, our two largest affiliates aren't going to run this program that's already costing us a fortune? We should probably find a new program. Hello. Again, your pitcher on the mound is giving you, he's pitching to a 9 ERA. He's giving up 1 run an inning. You have an option in your bullpen that pitches to a 4.50 ERA, which is still fairly high, but that's a run every other inning. Okay? So you're now giving up half as many runs a game by going to a different pitcher. Why would you not make the change? What gives you a better position to win? A guy who gives up 9 runs or a guy who gives up 5 runs? You tell me. Come on now. All right. So that was just that guy. I just, how could you be so dumb? So the affiliate suspended Jimmy Kimmel? The FCC's not even allowed to suspend Jimmy Kimmel. The FCC never even asked for Jimmy Kimmel to be suspended. Not once, not ever. So stupid. These people are just, and now they want to make it out, oh, Jimmy Kimmel, we're all Jimmy Kimmel. Give me a break. Guy deserved every bit of what just happened. Welcome to the consequence culture era. Enjoy your stay. All right. I want to get to a word from our friends over at goldencrestmetals.com/LFA. goldencrestmetals.com/LFA. Jeremy Harrell with an important message.
Hey everybody, Jeremy Harrell here. Look, I want to talk to you a little bit about gold and silver. When I was a kid, I always wondered what Fort Knox must look like. And when I was a kid, I always envisioned that when you would walk into Fort Knox, you would see just gold everywhere, literally raining gold, kind of like what you see behind me right now. Unfortunately, as a grown-up, I don't have that kind of imagination anymore, and I don't even have that much trust that Fort Knox has the 5,000 tons of gold that we're supposed to have there. Meaning that decades ago, we went off the gold standard in this country, which took the value of our dollar down to just mere pennies. And since our federal government doesn't want to go back to a gold standard currency, then it's time to us to take matters into our own hands. Have you ever thought about buying gold and silver? Have you ever thought about taking portions of your IRA or your 401k or your nest egg or your savings and putting it into gold and silver, either all or a portion of it? Have you ever wanted to purchase silver like this in bullion or premium? I know I do. And I know I wanted to take matters back into my own hands, which is why I have worked with Golden Crest Metals to do that. GoldenCrestMetals.com/LFA is going to be your go-to, absolutely transparent and trusted partner. Now, you can go to that website or you can call 888-308-4202. And what the good thing about this is they're going to guide you. They're going to talk to you. They're going to guide you. They're going to give you all the answers to your questions. And there's going to be no hidden fees. It's completely transparent. No hidden fees, no pressure, no surprise markups whatsoever. Clients get to see everything before they purchase. They've even agreed to lower the minimum investment to the LFA audience in order to make sure that everybody has access to this. Free IRA storage, free insured shipping, and a full range of precious metals from gold, silver, palladium, and platinum. And if it's easier for you to just maybe click a QR code, well, guess what? We've got that available for you too. Right here, ladies and gentlemen. Click this QR code on your screen and it'll take you right there. GoldenCrestMetals.com/LFA. Again, GoldenCrestMetals.com/LFA, or call 888-308-4202 today to reach these guys. They're going to be a great partner for you, just as they have been for me, and we absolutely recommend here at LFA TV, GoldenCrestMetals.com/LFA.
GoldenCrestMetals.com/LFA. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Golden Crest Metals, being a part of the show. I want to get to this little shift in the culture that we're seeing. Let me show you some students in Oregon. There was a teacher or a professor. I'm not sure if this was at a public school or a university. I forgot. But it's in this story, that was making, pretty insensitive remarks about Charlie Kirk after his death. And the students walked out and protested it. Watch this.
First at noon, we're taking you out live to the scene where some students at Thurston High School walking out over an employee's comments over conservative activist Charlie Kirk's shooting last week. Thanks for joining us here for KVAL News at noon. I'm John Mayer.
And I'm Brianna Chavez. Now, that walkout started earlier in the day, right around the time school began.
And we got the chance to speak with some of those students who walked out to learn more about why they felt the need to do so. Take a listen.
Obviously, at Thurston, we have a history of shootings happening at our school, and murders had happened on that day. So we just don't want to stand for the murder that occurred on that day.
If you're going to be okay with murders, I mean, what else are you really okay with,
Now, the students say they plan on remaining outside until the end of the school day in hopes of bringing attention from not only the community, but the district itself. The post the students are protesting, which has been shared across social media platforms, shows the employee sharing a news article about Kirk's death with the comment, good. Now, we did reach out to the district, which says it is aware of the post and concern from parents who are saying, quote, the views expressed in the post do not reflect the values of SPS. As a public school district, we're committed to providing a safe and respectful environment for all students, staff, and families. While we cannot comment on the individual personnel actions, know that we are taking this matter seriously. Now, we do have the district's full statement available up on our website at
All right, so the students walked out because an employee was celebrating a murder. And I think the most important comment there was from those first two students, the kid on the left in the glasses who said, if you're okay with murder, then what else are you okay with?
Short, sweet, and to the point.
Which is essentially like our argument against abortion, right? Because that's what it is. Yep. But 5 years ago, you didn't see this, except on Long Island, there were mask protests that were, these kids were like, oh, hey, I'm going to lead a mask protest in the school. And I was like, really? Be careful. And he was like, yeah. And I'm going to Skype into your live stream from ISS. And I was like, okay, that's great. So he would come to, ISS right now. So one of these. I actually wound up going out to that school and meeting the student as he came out to his parents. They thought I was hysterical. They thought I was great. I said, you're leading a mass protest? And then it was him and then like five others. And like they had like 2 rooms full of kids who weren't wearing. He was like, he became a problem, the dance party, right? All right. Finally, I want to do one more thing here. Then we'll get to Mo, then we'll get to calls. There are protests that are now popping up outside of Disney. They're protesting the suspension of Jimmy Kimmel. And apparently these protesters, some of them are from like the Screen Actors Guild and these Hollywood actors unions and etc. Several hundred people. Get out of here. Several hundred people. They want me to pay for this rag. No way. Hollywood writers and actors gathered yesterday to protest Jimmy Kimmel getting pulled from the air. Several hundred people showed up at the protest outside Walt Disney Studios in Burbank, California. Protesters said they were worried about a broader crackdown on free speech in entertainment. Oh, you know what? I stand with the protesters. I stand with those protesters. You know what they should do? Quit. All of them should leave Disney. All of them should stop associating with Disney. As a matter of fact, Mickey Mouse is fascist. That's it. Did you know that Benito Mussolini loved himself some Mickey Mouse? Did you know that? Did you know that Adolf Hitler loved Donald Duck? And Pluto? And the rest of them? Big Disney fans. The Lion King? That was Hitler's favorite movie. And Putin loves Finding Nemo. Disney Pixar. It's Disney and then Pixar. It's a Disney movie. Disney is a fascist company. Am I doing this correctly? Am I being a good leftist? Disney is fascist. All the woke employees should quit. Quit! Show them. Fight fascism by quitting. And then Disney can replace you with qualified people. And maybe we can stop turning Star Wars into a gay love story. Okay? Let's maybe do that. Gay.
Why are you gay?
I swear. We're going to go for a point. Watch. Okay. We're going to go to a point where Star Wars, they're going to retcon Star Wars. Instead of Vader saying, Luke, he didn't say that. Instead of Vader saying, I am your father, he's going to be like, I am your trans mother. That's what's going to happen.
I am your daddy.
I am your trans mother who was once a female and now a man. That's what's going to happen. Get out of here. All of the Disney employees should quit. All the woke ones. To fight fascism and send a message. Quit. Leave your job. Please. Leave your job. All right.
And happy birthday to Speak.
Yes, it's Speak's birthday on Sunday. Happy birthday to Speak.
Happy birthday to
Speak's birthday on Sunday. So wish him a happy birthday in the chat. That was a little birthday honk.
One last little.
Mo was very excited about that. All right. The storm trannies. Yes, the stormtroopers are trannies now, right? Quit. I want all of them to quit. No, I am your mother. What? Darth Vader's a lady? Well, depends on how Darth Vader identifies, right?
He's going to grow boobies.
They're going to make a plus-size Darth Vader, you know? It's just going to be, because big is beautiful.
His suit won't be black anymore. It'll be rainbow.
Lightsaber's going to be rainbow. No, you know what? All the Disney employees, all the woke people at Disney, in order to fight fascism, should quit today. Or else you're just BSing everybody. All right. 631-527-4545. 631-527-4545. We'll be taking your calls right after this message from Patriot Mobile. 631-527-4545. Get those calls coming in. This is Patriot Mobile, ladies and gentlemen, because there are only ladies and gentlemen. We know that. You've got a lot of choices for cell phone service, don't you? You do. With new ones popping up all over the place. But here's the truth. There's only one that boldly stands in the gap for every American that believes that freedom is worth fighting for, and that is Patriot Mobile. The good news is you can switch to Patriot Mobile today without sacrificing quality or service. If you're worried about coverage, don't be worried. Patriot Mobile uses all three major U.S. networks. If you have service in this country today, you will have as good or better coverage with Patriot Mobile tomorrow. If you think switching is a hassle, it used to be, but it's not anymore. You can keep your number, you can keep your phone, you can upgrade. Patriot Mobile's 100% U.S.-based team will get you activated in minutes from the comfort of your own home. If you're stuck in a contract or you owe money on your phones, Hakuna Matata, no worries. Patriot Mobile has a contract buyout program for you as well. This is how we win, folks. By aligning our spending with our values, every dollar we spend matters, and where we spend it matters. Go to patriotmobile.com/FARASH, patriotmobile.com/Farish for a free month of service, or call 972-PATRIOT. That's 972-PATRIOT, promo code FARASH for a free month of service. patriotmobile.com/Farish or 972-PATRIOT, promo code FARASH for a free month of service. All right, 631-527-4545. Get those calls rolling in. We're ready for you if you're ready for us. I see a bunch of folks trying to get through. We will cue that up right now. And who will be first? It will be Taylor Swift's biggest fan, the one and only. Oh, no, it won't. Nope, it didn't connect. We will go a different route. I think I know who this is. I'm going to take a guess. Is this conservative, Autumn?
Yeah, it is. Hi, Sean and Brennan.
I got it right. What's up?
Unpopular opinion. I think Disney's going to fold after this.
Oh, well, maybe all those employees will quit and they'll be forced to fold. I don't know. I hope they do. That'd be fine. I'd be fine with that.
Yeah. Yeah, that would,
as long as they put Star Wars in a lifeboat and send it off before they sink, and somebody else can revive the franchise.
Yeah, that's how it is for me with the Cars franchise. I hope that somebody else can take over that.
Yeah, I love Cars. Cars was good. You know,
I do too.
My favorite comedian, George Carlin, was the voice of what was his name? The hippie from the first Cars movie.
Fillmore. Yeah,
Fillmore. Yeah, that was George Carlin who did that voice. He used to do a bit called the Hippy Dippy Weatherman with the Hippy Dippy Weatherman. What's up?
You go ahead.
Oh no, I'm good. Yeah, we're all set. What's on your mind?
Well, she said Disney.
Just that Disney's going to fold after this.
Got it. Well, I hope they do. I hope you're right about that, and I hope they rescue Cars as well. That first movie is phenomenal. So
yeah, the third one.
I haven't seen the third one yet. I've seen Cars 2. But I'll have to get around to watching the third one.
Yeah, you're going to have to remind me to tell my conspiracy theory about Cars 2.
All right. Well, when I watch Cars 2, the next time you call, I will maybe have watched it, and we can go over that conspiracy theory.
Maybe we'll watch it this weekend.
Yeah, maybe we'll watch it this weekend. Conservative Autumn, thank you so much for your call. Appreciate it.
Thank you for taking my call. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. All right.
Sean's all over the place today.
I'm all over the place
I'm
today.
trying to keep him in the right.
I keep myself in line. Got to keep myself in line. Got to do it. Someone's got to do it.
Somebody
has to do it. I'm the chosen one. All right, 631-527-4545. A lot of competition on here. And the line, no, he's going to kill me if he finds out about that. No, all right, he's still going to be able to get through. There we go. I accidentally refreshed, and it it kicked the call away. The phones are acting weird today. But this is Dylan from Iowa. What's going on?
Oh, nothing, Sean. I just wanted to call in and say hello to everyone.
Hello.
We have. Hello. Oh, wait, I can hear Brennan this time.
Yes. Yeah. You can. Surprise. She's on the microphone. What's going on?
Oh my gosh. Well, nothing, Sean. Just I've been getting people out to vote for early voting in person for our mayoral primary that we have going on here. We got to flip our mayoral seat from blue to red, so I got to do everything I can to do that.
Best of luck there. Absolutely.
And also to your school board. Also, Sean, I just wanted to tell you too, we got to get rid of these nonpartisan elections. There's no such thing as a nonpartisan election.
I agree.
I got to see the party labels. Like, we have to see the party labels, and I think we should lead a movement on that to get rid of these nonpartisan elections, because these nonpartisan elections only benefit the Democrats.
That's right. That is completely right. 100%.
And it's horrible. So, but yeah, just been mobilizing people to get out and vote in the mayoral race, and the general is on November 4th. But I'm trying to get people to participate in the primary so we can get real conservative in there. But
always doing something. We appreciate that, Dylan. Great job.
Yeah, thank you, Sean. And I've registered almost 10 to 15 people from independent to Republican in my district. So.
Excellent
I'm doing
stuff.
everything I can to flip this district. So
thank you for all your hard work. We definitely appreciate it, and we love hearing those updates. And thanks for being a part of the show and doing what you do every day. It's good work.
Yeah, thank you, Sean. And we got some important elections coming up here, and we need to vote in every single election. So.
That's right. Well, Dylan, thank you. Have a great weekend, and thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you, Sean.
All right, Dylan from Iowa. Always up to good things over there. We got to take a quick break from a word from our friends at Armor Colostrum. It's tryarmor.com/LFA TV. You know, I'm always on the lookout for ways to strengthen my immunity, my gut health, improve my fitness and metabolism, and enhance my skin and hair radiance. That is what Armor Colostrum can do for you and more. It's the first nutrition you receive in life, colostrum is, and contains all the essential nutrients that our bodies need in order to thrive. You can reactivate your hair growth. You can fortify your gut health and ignite your metabolism. You can fuel your fitness for performance and recovery. You can do all that and more with Armor Colostrum. You want to glow like Dylan Filion glowed on our show, you can take some Armor Colostrum. He's taking this stuff, and it works well for him. They have worked out a great deal for you guys. 15% off of your entire first order at tryarmor.com/LFATV. That's TRYARMRA.com/LFATV. Tryarmor.com/LFATV. Go ahead and check it out today. Tryarmor.com/LFATV. Keep those calls coming in. 631-527-4545. We're attempting to connect here. And this would be, again, I believe this is not a great start for the Chiefs there, Heather. Not a great start, but I think they're going to bounce back.
I know. Hello.
I think they're going to bounce back. What's up, Heather from Kansas City?
Hi, Brennan. Hi, Sean.
Hi,
how are you all today? Hi. No, yeah, it is rough, but, there's always next time. This week, Sunday.
That's right. That's the Jet fans' favorite motto. There's always next week.
Yes,
there's always next year.
Next week.
Yeah.
And it's always Red Friday. Every Friday, it's Red Friday.
That's right.
I had a couple of thoughts. I was wondering if we can check how many people have switched from Democrat to Republican in the last week.
I'm sure there's a national database. I don't know where it is, but I'm sure there is one somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, that was my first thought. Also, we also have an election starting here soon for a recall for Frank White.
Okay.
And they're also looking at Cleaver, and everywhere I'm seeing there are signs that say vote yes to recall Frank White. So it looks like that's going to go through.
Hope so.
And yes, and I was going to go. They had a vigil in Kansas City for Charlie Kirk. I think about 200 to 300 went to it, I believe.
Okay.
I did not go. I wasn't feeling safe there where it was. I said, no, we're not going to do that. And then I think I told Brendan, but I was going to go to an amusement park with some friends last weekend. I found out there was a shooting there on the news, and everybody was running out of the park, and I'm like, I'm thankful I didn't go. I kind of listened to my instincts, so like I don't need to go to that kind of thing.
Yep.
But it was also very hot that day, and I'm like, let's just stay home. So anyway,
Yes.
just everyone be cautious and careful, and
That's right. Keep your head on a swivel.
And I also want to say, I know we're still mourning that huge loss, but we also have to look at what's happening in the world, especially with this Jimmy Kimmel thing. Would it have happened, this way? Would he still be on the air?
He would. But he would absolutely still be on the air. He definitely would be. Yeah. So.
And I never turned that channel on, honestly, at that time, but I turned it on last night to see what was there because it still said his name there. But
right.
I'll let you know, Family Feud is now on at that time.
Good.
So.
I love Family Feud. Well, Heather, thank you. Thank you for the call. We appreciate it. And have a good weekend. Stay safe, all right?
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, Heather from Kansas City with good updates there. Let's see if that mayor gets recalled. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. All right, 631-527-4545. We have time for one more, and it's got to be a lightning round. We have about 30 seconds, and here we go. Let's see if this connects. This call is connected. We've got 30 seconds. You're on the clock. Go ahead.
Hey, this is Cody from Florida. I just wanted to say,
what's up, Cody?
Oh, how the tables have turned.
Hell yeah.
We went last year, a year and a half ago, where the left vilifying Ron DeSantis for going to war with Disney.
That's
and
right.
now the left is in all-out war with Disney over this Jimmy Kimmel debacle.
Heck
it's
yeah.
absolutely ridiculous. The
Well,
hypocrisy is crazy.
That's right, and thanks for the call, Cody. It's always good to hear from you. Have a great time down there in the beautiful free state of Florida, and love when you call in. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Sean. Have a good one.
All right, Cody from Florida. He's one of our biggest supporters over on the X platform. Love Cody. We got to get going for Jeremy Harrell. And by the way, I just want to tell you, Misfit Patriots joining Jeremy Harrell today. That is going to be...
Your computers may catch on fire.
Okay? There may be a portal opened up into another dimension. Misfit Patriots joining Jeremy Harrell today because obviously, Jeremy has been no fan of the Groyper movement. And to say that Misfit has been no fan of the Groyper movement is an understatement. He's been leading the charge against what we call the woke right for a while. So don't go anywhere because Misfit will be joining, I think, in the third hour today. With Jeremy Harrell. That's going to be must-see content. So don't go anywhere. Jeremy Harrell up next for the next 3 hours. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Another great week here on LFA TV. As President Trump says, we will never give up. We will never give in, and we will never, ever surrender. And if all else fails, we'll just become ungovernable. Thank you. God bless you. God bless this one nation under God, indivisible with liberty and justice for all. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great weekend. We'll see you again on Monday in the words of John Fetterman. Wubba dubba. Right? Good night, everybody. Bang, gavel. Have a great day. And in the words of the greatest president of the United States in history of our country, thank you for your attention to this matter. Jeremy Harrell up next.